Everybody, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel, and I have Resilient here. She was my first smart doll, and I was in the middle of doing a dolly dress-up video of her. I have a new t-shirt I got that's really cute that I wanted to put on somebody, and she was ready to have her clothes changed. And it occurred to me, I've had a few people ask about the movability of these dolls and, just a little bit more information about them. And I will say, if you get onto the Culture Japan website, Danny Chu has some really interesting videos on there about things like how to make them stand up, how to take them apart, how to get the wigs on, how they're actually made. I find those fascinating. I love to see stuff made. I just, that's something I could just sit there and watch all day, people making stuff or things being manufactured or whatever. But yeah, the videos he shows part of the casting process. But somebody was asking me about her movability the other day, these dolls, and I thought, well, I haven't really done a video like that. I just kind of, I guess, assumed people knew, but, and I know a lot of people do know. So if you have something to add, please feel free to add it to the conversation below in the comments. But I'm just going to do a quick just review of how these dolls work, okay? So they are not a BJD in that they are not strong, okay? They are a jointed doll, but there's no strings inside. He actually has like a skeletal piece in here. So I have her in her undies, and they come with underwear, different kinds. This is an older type of undies. He's got some fancier ones these days, but he does give them like a little sports bra and panties, and then you have to buy the clothes yourself. The wig comes separate, and you have to put that on. I guess I'll go ahead and take it off so you can see. They're not the easiest for me to put on and off, so there you go. There's the wig. So you can switch their wigs out, which is super duper cool. And yeah, I'm a little challenged with getting them on. Their eyes can also be switched out. I really like the eyes, how they come already. I have never really thought about switching the eyes out, honestly. Now, this is an older one. The newer ones, the top is orange, but this actually comes off, and then you can get in the inside and see, it's very soft. These are vinyl, okay? Whoop, whoop, whoop. And inside, you can get access to the eyes. And that's putty around there, so you can just pull it off. And then, I'm trying to remember what those numbers mean. I think that's the size. I honestly don't remember. I knew at one time, and now my mind is completely blank. So I'm sure somebody knows. Post it in the comments. Be nice. All right, so there's the top of her head, so you can change out her eyes if you want. And that's one of the things with a typical strung BJD, you can switch out their eyes, and they usually come without any kind of face up or anything, no eyes, no paint on their face or anything. His come with a face up and with eyes already. She's an older release semi-reel, and therefore she does not have any holes in her nose, or no little indentations. They're not completely holes, but they have a look as if they have a hole now. Let me grab somebody over here so you know what I'm talking about. Here you go. Here's Dauntless. See her nose? So she looks like she has nose nostrils. Okay. So the newer ones have nostrils. The older semi-reels do not. And then, of course, the other versions he makes are anime, which have a very different face mold and have actually a very similar nose to this gal. She almost has an anime look in some ways, but she is a semi-real. She is a T skin tone. Right now, as I film this, there are 3 skin tones you can get. Tea, cinnamon, which is lighter, and cocoa, which is quite dark. And I believe they're working on a coffee skin tone, which is sort of a lighter version of cocoa. But these dolls do come apart, and first of all, the head comes off, so I'm going to pop that off. It's got a little peg, and I just try to be careful that I don't touch their face when I do this, because, with a lot of rubbing, I think this could come off. I'm sure it's sealed, but you still don't want to touch the face a lot, so you just pop it off like that. And this is handy when you are dressing them sometimes, because you want to get stuff like when I put this back on to, I don't keep these little tops, these little bras on very much. For example, I'm going to put her in this t-shirt here in another video, and she doesn't need this under a t-shirt. Her tatas are pretty, you know, so, but for purposes of filming this video, I thought I should cover things up. But if I was going to take things on and off, you got to push her arms up here. The head can just get in the way. Trust me, I've tried it. It's just easier just to take the head off. Especially, I usually take the head off and leave the wig on. I take it off very carefully, set it aside, and leave the wig on so I don't have to struggle with getting the wig on, back on. So like I said, you can actually see how everything is kind of put together without me actually removing everything. Her hands also come off. Very, like this, just pop those off. And I've been wanting to change her hands out anyway, so I guess I'll do that. And you can buy, for an extra charge, you can get a pack of hands. So here she has different hands, and they all have, all the skin tones have hands available. So, like, for example, here's the other peace sign. So if I wanted to give her 2 peace signs, I could do that on each hand. Or here's a thumbs up thing. Here's maybe she's holding something. Here's just an open hand. This is probably what she came with. Yeah, so this is what she originally came with. So I think I'm going to put the original hands back on her. And that's nice because, as you know, you could, you know, change out the hands, and like for something like this, you can make it look like she's holding something. Okay. So they just, like I said, these are really easy to take on and off. So that's really nice. All right. So the hands come off. You can also, if you would like your doll to be more chesty, more buxom, I guess you could say, more full-figured, you can also take the top off here. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to put it back on, but I'll show you. Here's Dolly Nudity, Massive Dolly Nudity. So they move up here, and you can see, like, you can see some of the skeletal part down there. All right, so this part up here, it does move. There's movement to it, and you can take this off and give her a bigger chest. To me, I like the look. I like a more sporty look on the dolls, so I'm not really into the big tatas. But if you wanted to have her bigger tatas for her, you can buy them, and it's an extra charge. The hands are an extra charge. The extra tatas are extra. When you buy your doll, she comes, you know, like this with the head and the wig and all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, so she does have a lot of, you can see she's got quite a bit of movement up at the, you know, up here at the top. Like I said, her arms go all the way around. Okay. There's lots of movement in the elbows. All right, so it takes a while to really for me anyway, it took me a while, and I'm still, you know, not 100% at it, to get used to dealing with these different joints. They're very different than a lot of dolls that I have. So, you know, so just keep that in mind if you haven't gotten one before. They're very big dolls, and, you know, they have a different feel than something like, you know, obviously a Barbie or, you know, an Ella and Wild or something like that. So then they also have a lot of movement in the hips. Okay. They can go front. This is as far back as this goes. Okay, so that's as far back as it goes in the hip. But they sit really nicely. Okay, you can also take their feet off, and you can turn them all the way around. All right, so now you may notice, like if you saw my recent video where I unboxed my latest smart doll when I was moving her legs and stuff, in the new video for it was Limitless, you could hear her creak like an old lady. Her joints were creaking. When I did this with Limitless, she made a lot of noise. Resilient isn't making noise like that because I've had her for a few years, and I have, you know, moved her about, and after a while you don't hear that creaky noise like you typically do with a brand new smart doll. All right, so the feet, you can't necessarily, they don't have like tons of feet like they do with hands, But if you need to take the feet off, like say you're trying to get some pants on that are really tight or something, you can pop the feet off. Okay, you can pop the feet off. And I will say I'm trying to be a little gentle, and I have like massive arthritis in my wrists, so it probably takes me longer to do something like that than somebody with young wrists and hands. Okay, but you can see that the feet have a lot of movement as well. You know, they flip around. So yeah, so that's what the feet look like. So I just double checked on their website because I was curious. They do have 2 sets of hands right now for each of the skin tones, the cocoa, the tea, and the cinnamon skin tone. And they also have one, they call it a medium-sized bust. And they have a few other things there. So they do have things that you can like attach and change the dolls quite a bit. All right, so I have her wig back on, and you can see it's really easy. There's just a hole there and a peg. So it's really easy to pop her head back on. Pop, there she is. She's back together again. So yeah, I think I really like the fact that these dolls are so, you know, they're different, like I said, but they're really not that difficult to get used to as far as taking them apart. Obviously, when you're looking for clothes for them, if you're not into completely taking them apart all the time, it can be useful to look for things that you can just pull over their heads. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind when you're looking for clothes. But if you're curious about, you know, the movability of the doll and what she looks like, oh, and of course, I didn't mention that. That's her hole back there that you put a tripod stand in order to stand her up. This is an older tripod stand, and I say tripod because basically it's like a third leg. The one I just got Limitless recently, she has it's a little bit different configuration, but it's just, again, hole, peg, stick in. Okay, and then you this I find a little bit, there you go, there she's in, and then so it's in there, and then you just take it out and you can stand it up so that she has 3 legs. It takes a little bit of practice to do this, but I think you get the idea here. Excuse her butt ski, but you can see here, there you go, she's got 3 legs so she can stand up, which is kind of cool, especially when you're trying to take pictures and you maybe don't want to see that. And we do that kind of thing with Blythe dolls a lot, where we'll, you know, put like a fork behind them or something. But when you purchase the doll, you get one of these with the doll. So you get the doll, the head, the eyes, the face up already, a wig that you have to put on, but it's not a huge deal, and a pair of undies. But like I said, there's other things you can add, like extra hands, a larger bust, of course, some really cute clothes, shoes, accessories, all kinds of great things to spend your money on over at Culture Japan. Okay. All right. So now that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you found this helpful. Hopefully it made a little bit of sense to everybody if you were kind of curious about the physical aspects of these dolls. As usual, please give this a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a wonderful dolly day. Bye.